It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we're in for a rematch of Super Bowl 41. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears, next on Madden Football.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Richardson to throw. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. On the option left, Richardson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Off the option, here's Taylor. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Again, it's Taylor. And a short gain down to about the 33. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he gets it down to the 32. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Richardson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the big. Look at the big man rumble. Down to the 10. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Richardson out of the shotgun. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now it's Richardson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Richardson back to throw it. Now this taken in by Downs. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Working out of the gun, Williams. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 41-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. That's his first catch of the game and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. To throw once more, here's Williams. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To throw, it's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Off the play fake, it's Williams. And he's got it. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up second down and a bit farther.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Here's Williams. That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown Bears. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Richardson looking to throw this. This pass left side to Downs. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
He'll take this to the 46. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. Now Richardson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Got his man, it's Warren. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Two yards to go, second down. Richardson looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
1st and 10, Taylor now. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. 2nd down and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are back within a score. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense They just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
That one goes for 24 yards. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down and a yard. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
On first and 10, it's Swift. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw, Williams. And his throw here's incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Looking to throw is Williams. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And the Colts getting ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That complete to Downs. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. from the shotgun. Richardson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Richardson working from the gun. This one finds Pierce on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. On the option left, Richardson trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Richardson now from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He's one of the bigger receivers in the game, CD, and his size that time certainly helped against double coverage.
Yeah, you're still at a little bit of a disadvantage when you're going against multiple defenders when they're trying to double you and sometimes triple you. But you're exactly right. With his build, he could minimize that disadvantage, and he more than held his own and hauled that one in right there.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he was unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Richardson. And it's caught. Touchdown, Colts. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Colts are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
I feel like I'm back in school. What was that book, you know? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. This has been a tale of 2 quarters so far. They trailed 14-0 after 1. How about the rally we've been watching?
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns. PAT here to tie it up. This is a good ball game all of a sudden. Now the try here for the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Tackle made by Zaire Franklin.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Williams. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Certainly not the best of throws that time from the rookie QB.
And now he'll need the support from the home crowd and the hometown fans because they know they've got a gem here. They know they've got a good player, but there will be mistakes along the way. They will have to show some patience in order to help him along.
Anthony Richardson and the offense back out. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson. 29 yards, and the Colts have taken the lead. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work.
Lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They got the football via the interception on that last drive, and he almost gave it right back to the opposition the same way.
Certainly looks like they've got a pretty good bead on what they're trying to do on offense. The receivers are being locked down. Hard to find places to fit the football.
They run out of the gun with Swift. A little juke, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To the air, Williams. He's going to look deep for more. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Williams. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 7. They'll look to throw again. Pass incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Williams going to look to throw again. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Caleb Williams taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bears are an extra point away from evening this one up.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled. And wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And this defense has got to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in this first half that's really giving him fits. Here's Richardson to throw. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Now Richardson back to throw it. And his throw is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now it's Richardson. That one finds Pierce right side. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. And Richardson looks to throw once more. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Richardson. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Richardson. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Richardson out of the shotgun. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now and I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Back to the air with Richardson. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here now, 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, here's Williams. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Here's Williams. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
A final shot before break. Williams. And he floated one out there, incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Working out of the gun, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second down at 6 now from the 42. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll run right here with Swift. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it, and the running game is starting to pay off.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Swift going to try up the middle. He'll get this down to the 38. Here's a 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, Adunze wide open. It's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23. 15 yards there for number 15. They will run straight ahead with Swift. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. From the 21, here's a 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Swift. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bears are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Santos now to add the PAT. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Colts offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They give to Taylor out of the gun, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job. And Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. On the handoff, this is Swift. He is out of bounds inside the 35. 113 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing, offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance. And this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw, Williams. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's a handoff to Swift. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw in here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
This is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, They couldn't stop them.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's up and good, and they've jumped back ahead, 35-28. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Richardson looking to throw. Steps away to his left. Richardson hit it, he fumbles it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Richardson looking to throw this. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now Richardson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll run here with Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards that time for number 14.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Richardson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Richardson got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Point after try forthcoming. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. Able to slither by. And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To the air, Williams. That's complete, right around the 8. And the Bears are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Swift will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Santos now to add the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. To throw is Richardson. Throwing to start the drive.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Richardson connecting over the middle with Downs. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time it's 3rd and 3. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
On the option to give to Taylor here. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now a 2nd and 2. Off the option, here's Taylor. And this is going to be a Colts first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Second and a couple. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 131 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a first down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Richardson working from the gun.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Richardson off the play fake. And that one too wide and incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll bring them back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Evades the tackler and now some space. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Throwing is Williams. And this one is incomplete. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Looking to throw is Williams. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a 4-point game. Now, this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. Richardson to throw it. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over, so a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Richardson. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
That one behind his man, incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. From the gun, it's Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll come up now on second down. Now Richardson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Throw right side taken in by Adunze. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Back to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing now is Richardson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he is going to have a Colts first down. And that should be the one that finishes this game off. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Chicago.